The inside woman, Alex, stood in her ransacked office, watching the forensics team dust for prints that she knew wouldn't lead anywhere. The woman on the phone had been too careful, too methodical. 2 years of planning didn't end with sloppy fingerprints. Miss Morrison? A young constable approached, notebook in hand. We've reviewed the security footage. The system was disabled from the inside at 1447. Exactly 3 minutes before you and Mr. Ben Ashford arrived at Scotland Yard. It was reactivated at 1523, giving the intruder 36 minutes inside the building. Disabled from the inside, Alex repeated, her voice hollow. Someone with access codes. And keys, Detective Inspector Okonkwo added, joining them from the corridor. No forced entry. Your father's meeting with the security company now, but preliminary assessment suggests whoever did this had legitimate credentials. Marcus stood at the window, his reflection ghostly in the glass. How many people have those credentials? 43 barristers, 22 clerks, 16 administrative staff, and 12 regular contractors, Richard Morrison said from the doorway. He looked older than he had that morning, the lines around his eyes deeper. We're pulling access logs now, but anyone could have copied keys, Alex finished. Anyone we've trusted for years. Elizabeth Chen appeared behind Richard, her expression grim. The Bar Standards Board hearing is scheduled for 2 p.m. tomorrow. That gives us, she checked her watch, 19 hours to identify this person, gather evidence, and prepare a defense against fabricated documents we haven't even seen yet. The anonymous submission was delivered by courier at 16:30, Okonkwo said. Professional service, paid in cash, picked up from a dead drop in Shoreditch. No cameras, no witnesses. The courier company has a description. Woman, mid-30s, blonde hair, sunglasses, nondescript clothing. Could be anyone. Or a wig in disguise, Sophie Chen said, arriving with Natasha. Both women looked shaken. Alex, we came as soon as we heard. What can we do? Alex gestured at the chaos around them. Someone with inside access did this. Someone who's been planning it for 2 years, since your engagement party. She looked at Sophie. Who was there? Who would have seen Marcus and me together that night? Sophie pulled out her phone, scrolling through photos. Everyone. The entire chambers, Marcus's hospital colleagues, our families. She paused, her face going pale. Oh God. What? Natasha moved to look at the screen. I just remembered something Rebecca said when we arrested her. Sophie's hands were shaking. She said someone recruited her 6 months ago. Someone who'd been watching you both for much longer. Someone who knew things even she didn't. Alex's mind raced. Someone at the engagement party. Someone who saw us together and what? Marcus turned from the window. Decided to destroy your life 2 years later? Why wait? Because she was patient, a new voice said from the doorway. Everyone turned to see Patricia Ashworth standing there, elegant in a charcoal suit, her expression troubled. I should have come forward sooner. I thought I was being paranoid, but now... Patricia, Richard said carefully. What do you know? 6 months ago, someone approached me about filing a complaint against Morrison and Blackwood. A woman I'd never met, claiming to have evidence of ethical violations. She knew details about the Thornton case that no one outside this firm should have known. Patricia's voice was steady, but her eyes were worried. I declined, obviously. But she said something that stayed with me. Alexandra Morrison thinks she's untouchable. I'm going to prove she's not. Did you get a name? Okonkwo asked, notebook ready. Diane Foster. But when I tried to follow up later, the phone number was disconnected and the email bounced back. I assumed it was a competitor fishing for information. Alex felt ice in her veins. Diane Foster isn't a real person. No, Patricia agreed. But whoever she is, she's been planning this for a long time, and she has access to information that suggests she's either inside your chambers or very close to someone who is. Richard's face had gone gray. We need to narrow this down. Who has both the technical expertise to forge documents and recordings, dull it, and the inside access to plant evidence and disable security? Someone in administration, Elizabeth suggested. Someone who handles confidential files regularly. Or someone in IT, Sophie added. Creating fake recordings requires sophisticated software. So does hacking into systems to plant malware. Alex closed her eyes, thinking back to the engagement party 2 years ago. She'd been so happy that night, celebrating with Sophie and Natasha, laughing with Marcus in the corner while he told stories about medical school disasters. Who had been watching them? Who had seen something in that moment that sparked 2 years of obsessive planning? The woman on the phone said she'd been planning this since the engagement party, Alex said slowly. She said I took something from her. Not something professional, something personal. Marcus went very still. Like Rebecca. Exactly like Rebecca, Natasha said quietly. Another woman who thought Marcus was hers. Another woman watching from the shadows while you two fell in love. But Rebecca didn't have inside access to chambers, Richard pointed out. And she didn't have the technical sophistication to forge the kind of evidence the Bar Standards Board received. Financial transactions, voice recordings, document metadata, that's expert-level fabrication. Unless Rebecca was telling the truth, Okonkwo said. Unless there really is someone else, someone who recruited Rebecca, used her obsession with Marcus as a weapon, then abandoned her when she got arrested. Alex's phone buzzed. Unknown number. Her hands shook as she opened the message. Enjoying the party? All your friends gathered around, trying to save you. It's almost touching. But you're looking in the wrong places, Alexandra. The person who's destroying you isn't hiding in the shadows. She's right there with you. She's been there all along. And tomorrow at 2 p.m., when the Bar Standards Board hears what I've prepared, you'll finally understand what it feels like to lose everything. Sleep well. Alex showed the message to the group. The silence that followed was suffocating. She's here, Sophie whispered. She's watching us right now. Okonkwo was already on her radio, calling for additional officers. No one leaves this building until we've questioned everyone. Constable, I want a list of every person currently in these chambers. Now. As the constable hurried away, Alex looked around at the faces surrounding her. Her father, her mentor, who'd built this firm from nothing. Elizabeth, her solicitor, who'd fought beside her for weeks. Patricia, a client turned ally. Sophie and Natasha, friends who'd stood by her through everything. Marcus, the man she loved. And somewhere among the 93 people with access to Morrison and Blackwood, someone who'd been planning her destruction for 2 years. Someone who knew her schedule, her cases, her relationships. Someone who'd watched her fall in love with Marcus and decided that love deserved to be punished. We need to think about this differently, Marcus said suddenly. This isn't about the Chambers leak or professional rivalry. This is personal. This woman believes Alex took something from her. Something she wanted. Me, Marcus said flatly. She believes Alex took me. But you weren't with anyone 2 years ago, Natasha said. You just ended things with that doctor from Guy's hospital. You were single at the engagement party. Marcus's expression changed. Julia. What? Alex asked. Dr. Julia Hartwell. We'd been seeing each other for about 4 months. It ended badly. She wanted more commitment than I could give. She was at the engagement party. She saw me with you. Richard was already on his phone. What's her specialty? Psychiatry. But she left Guy's about 18 months ago. I heard she moved to a private practice, but I don't know where. Psychiatry, Sophie said slowly, which means she'd understand psychological manipulation. She'd know how to exploit Emma's mental illness, how to recruit Rebecca by playing on her obsessions. And she'd have access to medical records, Elizabeth added, including Marcus's, including patient information that could be used for blackmail. Okonkwo was already coordinating with her team. I need everything on Dr. Julia Hartwell, employment history, current address, financial records, phone logs, and I need it 10 minutes ago. Alex's mind was reeling. Julia Hartwell. She tried to remember the woman from the engagement party, but the memory was hazy. Tall, maybe? Dark hair? She'd been so focused on Marcus that night, so caught up in their conversation, that she hadn't paid attention to anyone else. Wait, Patricia said suddenly. Did you say Hartwell, as in Hartwell Medical Consulting? Everyone turned to look at her. I've used them for expert witnesses in medical malpractice cases, Patricia continued. They provide psychiatric evaluations, expert testimony, medical record analysis. Very expensive, very professional. The founder is Dr. Julia Hartwell. And Morrison and Blackwood uses them too, Richard said, his face ashen. We've retained Hartwell Medical Consulting for at least a dozen cases in the past 18 months, including the Thornton case. The room went silent. She's had access to your files for 18 months, Elizabeth said quietly. Legitimate, contracted access. She could walk in here anytime, review case materials, copy documents, all completely above board. And no one would question it, Alex finished, because she's a trusted expert witness, part of the team. Okonkwo's phone rang. She listened for a moment, her expression darkening. Hartwell Medical Consulting's offices are closed. Have been since last Friday. The landlord says Dr. Hartwell gave notice 3 weeks ago, paid through the end of the month, and cleared out over the weekend. No forwarding address. 3 weeks ago, Marcus said, right when Rebecca was arrested. She knew we'd eventually make the connection, Alex said. She's been preparing her exit strategy. But she's not gone yet, Sophie said, pointing at Alex's phone. She's still watching, still texting. She wants to see this through. Another message arrived. Alex's hands were steady now as she opened it. You're getting warmer, Alexandra, but you're too late. The evidence is already submitted. The hearing is in 18 hours, and even if you figure out who I am, even if you find me, you can't prove the documents are forged. I'm very, very good at what I do. I've been studying you for 2 years. I know every case you've worked, every argument you've made, every document you've filed. I can forge your signature better than you can write it yourself. I can mimic your voice perfectly. I can prove you've been taking payments from Jeremy Thornton for months. And tomorrow, when the Bar Standards Board strips you of your license, when Marcus's career implodes because of his association with you, when your father's firm collapses under the scandal, then you'll understand. You don't get to have everything. You don't get to take what's mine and live happily ever after. No one does. Alex looked up at Marcus. His jaw was tight, his eyes dark with anger. We need to find her tonight, Okonkwo said. Before that hearing, we need evidence that she's behind this, that the documents are forged, that we need Julia Hartwell herself, Richard interrupted. Confession, recording, something that proves she fabricated the evidence. Without that, we're just making accusations. So we draw her out, Natasha said. We give her what she wants. What do you mean? Alex asked. She wants to see you suffer. She wants to watch you lose everything. So we make her believe she's won. Natasha's expression was calculating. We leak information that you're breaking under the pressure, that you're thinking of withdrawing from practice before the hearing, that Marcus is considering ending the relationship to protect his career. She'll come to watch, Sophie added, understanding. She'll want to see it in person. She's been planning this for 2 years. She won't be able to resist witnessing the destruction. It's risky, Okonkwo warned. If she's as sophisticated as we think, she might see through it. But what choice do we have? Marcus asked. We have 18 hours. We need to flush her out. Alex looked around at the faces of the people fighting for her. Her father, her friends, her love, and somewhere out there, a woman who'd spent 2 years plotting revenge for a relationship that had barely existed. All right, she said finally. Let's give Dr. Hartwell the show she's been waiting for. As the group began planning their trap, Alex's phone buzzed one more time. I'm closer than you think, Alexandra. I'm always closer than you think. And tomorrow, when everything falls apart, remember this. You brought this on yourself. You took what was mine, and now you'll pay the price. Alex looked up at the security camera in the corner of her office. The red light was on, recording everything. She wondered if Julia Hartwell was watching right now, through hacked feeds or compromised systems, watching them plan, watching them scramble, watching them walk into whatever trap she'd prepared for tomorrow. But as Alex met Marcus's eyes across the room, she felt something shift inside her. Fear, yes. Exhaustion, certainly. But also determination. Julia Hartwell had been planning this for 2 years. She'd recruited allies, forged evidence, destroyed lives. But she'd made one crucial mistake. She'd assumed Alex would face her alone. And as the clock ticked toward midnight, as the team coordinated their counterattack, Alex realized that whatever happened at tomorrow's hearing, she wouldn't be standing there by herself. She'd be standing with her father, her friends, and the man she loved. And sometimes, that made all the difference. The question was, would it be enough?
Thanks for watching our stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic adventures. Thanks for watching our stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic adventures.